Welcome back to the Gore Guide, where we're on a journey to compile the definitive list of gore and splatter films. Today we are starting our look at the Wrong Turn franchise. As the release of the new film fast approaches, or may have already happened by the time you watch this, I thought it would be good to revisit the series. So let's start with where it all began, the original Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn is a 2003 film directed by Rob Schmidt and written by Alan McElroy, starring Eliza Dushku, Desmond Harrington and Emmanuel Shrieky. This is the first installment in the fairly successful and well-loved franchise about a group of deformed cannibal killers in the Appalachian Mountains of West Virginia. But what is it about the film that was such a success with the fans, and why did it go on to make so many sequels? Let's take a look and find out. Chris is on his way to an important interview when a huge traffic jam forces him to find an alternative route through the back roads of West Virginia. Speeding through the windy lanes to make up time, he crashes into 5 friends who have a flat tire. Chris and some of the group of friends go off to find help, but the locals don't want them to leave. In fact, they want to kill them and eat them. Wrong Turn is easy to like. The plot is basic and the story is simple to follow, which gives everyone time to just mentally switch off and enjoy the cat and mouse chase theme of the film. The setting is effective and beautiful, and the long shots of the seemingly endless woodland really portray how easy it would be to get lost and disappear there. The setting also plays a part in some of the more memorable scenes and set pieces. The killer's cabin looks really good, and the main characters get to spend the night behind a waterfall. And the part in the watchtower and the subsequent escape is great. There's even a scene where the group of friends are being hunted through the treetops, like literally in the trees. It's pretty ridiculous but enjoyable. The kills aren't focused on very much in this film, but the makeup effects, particularly that of the killers, is fantastic. This is no surprise when you know that Stan Winston not only was responsible for the effects but also co-produced the film. The killers themselves are fantastic as well, the actual characters of the killers. There's Sawtooth, who is the leader. There's One Eye, the sensitive one. And then there's Three Fingers, who's the loose cannon. We don't get to fully appreciate their hideous faces in all their glory until well past the halfway mark, but they have other distinct appearances and behaviours that really stand out. Particularly Three Fingers, played in this film by Julian Richings. The way that he moves and laughs has become one of the standout parts of the whole franchise, which is probably why he's the only character to return in all of the films so far. I also like that we have survivors, plural. I won't tell you how many or who, I don't want to spoil that for you, but it's nice to have characters that we're rooting for make it through, even if that does mean that we have less deaths in the actual film. The kills in Wrong Turn are disappointing. They're really tame for this type of film, and they're mostly done off screen. There are a couple of good moments, but this is the weakest film in the series when it comes to death scenes. I mentioned earlier that I liked the setting, and while that's true, I don't think that it was used to its full advantage.
Woohoo! Oh yeah!
It is possible for people to exist in total isolation in these vast areas of woodland, and there are communities that are totally self-sufficient in the Appalachian Mountains, but to become cannibals and deformed, probably through inbreeding, would require them being nowhere near civilization. And there's no feeling of being isolated or lost in this film. They never seem to be more than 5 minutes from a main road. I realised that they wanted to focus more on the killers than on the setting, but I think it could have been used better. There are a few moments in the film that are pretty bad, but they're more laughable than annoying. Like when they get to the watchtower.
Look.
Oh my God. It's a watchtower.
How did they not see that? They're literally almost leaning up against it. And this guy, when he gets shot at with arrows, why get under the car? Did he think the guy couldn't see him? And while we're talking about hiding under things, the two main characters under the bed in the obligatory hiding in the killer's cabin scene. There's a bit when Sawtooth drops a shotgun shell and he's feeling under the bed for it. He definitely touches his hand then. But also just look at the way they're hiding. The way it's filmed almost lets them get away with it, but let's take another look at it from a different viewpoint.
Are you ready? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah, of course I can see you. You're just lying on the fucking floor.
There's not a lot I can do about it. There's going to be another person under it.
Just forget it. It doesn't matter. We'll sort it out in post.
Fuckers. Just die.
My personal favourite kill in Wrong Turn is the half decapitation in the treetops. When Three Fingers appears out of nowhere and then then the body just falls through the branches. Like I said earlier, this is the weakest entry in the franchise when it comes to death scenes. The kills are really tame and there's not that many of them, but the makeup is really good. So Wrong Turn gets 2 out of 5 for amount of blood and 3.5 out of 5 for quality of effects. This is a great start to what has gone on to be 6 well-received films and counting. I know a lot of people will watch this one and only this one, and it would have worked fine as a standalone film. But while I do really enjoy it, I personally don't think it's the best in the series. So Wrong Turn gets 3.5 stars out of 5. Leave a comment below if you have any thoughts or opinions on Wrong Turn, and join me next time when we'll be taking a look at Wrong Turn 2, Dead End. In the meantime, take a look at my list of films on Letterboxd. The link is in the description below as always. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe and click on the bell to keep up to date with new content. Thanks for watching, and until next video, have a bloody good time.